everybody. Thought I'd do a quick update on our progress for the odd rod in the off season. It's freezing cold here today in Tennessee. We're in the shop, got a fire going. It's not too bad out here, but we're trying to get a few things done. Got the odd rod back off the lift. It doesn't look like anything's changed, but we actually have trimmed 115 pounds out of it so far, making some changes and removing a few things. Our goal is to get another 85. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be more like another 35. But anyway, we're trying to lighten it up a little bit. It's going back on the lift next week. And we've got our new transmission assembled. And that's not the tail housing we'll be using. I'm just using it right now to mock up for a shifter. I've got a V-gate shifter that's going on. And we're to the point now we're going to have to go ahead and get it swapped out and make a custom shifter bracket to get the shifter positioned correctly in the up in the cab. So anyway, so that's going back on the lift next week to try to get that done. That's our last big piece of the puzzle to get it ready to do some testing maybe early March. And we'll come over here. Here's where all the work's going again. We're back at the ramp truck, the hauler. As you can see, it's missing a lot of pieces. Get around here where we can see it. Our cab is off to be media blasted and powder coated, as well as all the front end pieces. So we're down to just engine and chassis, and Ben's been out here today cleaning a little bit on the chassis. We are in the process of doing a complete front suspension rebuild. We're doing new springs, every bushing, pretty much every moving part, ball joints, everything. We really want this thing to drive well and be safe. When you're talking about something this big and you've also got your race car on it and your family in it, you really want it to be as safe and dependable as possible. So anyway, it looks like a mess, but it's actually not too bad. I want to show you something. This will bore most of you to death, but some of you car guys will get it. Just added a couple of ground cables, and grounding is everything on a car. I see more electrical problems because people either don't do grounds right or their grounds are corroded, and it just causes all kinds of nightmares. And for a diesel, it's even more critical because the amount of current it takes to start a diesel is tremendous. So this is what I removed that the previous owner had done. So this was their grounds. Okay. So I'm guessing they probably had some hard start problems at some time, and no telling what kind of electrical problems they had. So anyway, so we took that off. We run one ground from the engine block over to the frame. Of course, all the connections were soldered and cleaned really well. Ran one from the head over to the frame just because that was a convenient place. I'm also going to work on the grounds up front because the batteries, this thing's got dual batteries, and they ground up front to the engine block, and I'm probably going to tie one or both of those to the chassis as well. And then also, when you get back here, we've got a winch, and it pulls a tremendous amount of current, and the previous owner had wired the winch. They had just run two huge cables up to the batteries, and that's not totally necessary. If we do the grounds this well, we can come to this area of the frame and do a real short ground up to the winch, and then we're only running one large cable up to the battery to feed it, and that's going to help the way it performs as well. So just trying to do some of this maintenance while we've got this thing off the frame. Did a little bit of work right in here where the carrier bearing had been relocated, I guess, when this truck was originally built, and they had not braced it properly. And the next brace back with the carrier bearing has also got a cracked weld, and I'm going to beef it up. Just finished up the front cab mounts. It's interesting to know that a 74 cab sitting on a 92 frame, and this is the only difference in the front body mount. You can see the part sticking off the frame was the original 92 mount, and this little extension, we moved it up and forward a little bit, and then the 74 cab fits on it perfectly. And then in the back, We reused the 92 mounts. All we had to do was re-drill 2 holes. Everything lined up on the same cross member of the 74. So that part of the swap's been pretty easy. The tricky part's all been up front with modifying the core support. So anyway, quick update. You can see we're moving right along. We're going to get the odd rod ready, whether or not the ramp truck is ready for the beginning of the season or not. But this will come together pretty quick once the cab comes back. This was a running, driving vehicle to start with, so it's not like we're starting totally from scratch. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll update you soon.